This is KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and I have two guests today from the Old Creamery Theater and the upcoming production of The Church Basement Ladies, The Last Potluck Supper. Say hi to Carrie SaLoutos and to Katie Colette. I got to get my Colettas and my SaLoutos straight. So, first off, ladies, thanks so much for coming. Good to see you. Katie, you've been here before. You're kind of a regular staff person at the Old Creamery now.
This is true, yeah.
So, first off, how are things going?
Good. Really good. Yep, we're rehearsing in our last week for Church Basement Ladies, and then we've got Pinkalicious coming up the week after that. So it's very busy at the theater, but
busy season.
Yes, always.
And Carrie, is this your first time at the Creamery?
This is actually my return, my second time at the Old Creamery.
All right.
I was here last year the very same time when we did part 4 of the Church Basement Ladies, and was really thrilled to find out they were doing part 5, and they invited me to come back for that.
So that leads us to the next segment here, is to talk about Carrie's career as a church basement lady, because you've been playing these. You've played all in all the shows and done them multiple times. It sounds like.
You're right about that. I play Karen Lisgard Engelson, one of the Church Basement Ladies, and this particular show, The Last Potluck Supper, is part 5 in the series. So there are 5 shows featuring the same characters, and I have had the good fortune of being in all of them.
So you've done them all.
Yes.
When? So you got cast in the first one, and. It was just an opportunity to work, I'm sure.
It's especially for an actress who wants to work. Yes,
that's right.
It's a great opportunity.
And so what led you to do these multiple times and do all of them? That's kind of rare.
Well, that just says something about the show, I think. It's that I really, truly like the show. I love the team of people who work in the show, who put the show together. I've enjoyed seeing the shows, and I clearly like being in the shows. I've had the good fortune of doing 5 national tours of the show as well, and again, it was like there's a Christmas version. There's part 1, part 2, part 4, and part 5. And another sign of the success of the show is this started in Plymouth, Minnesota, where Troop America is, and they played at the Plymouth Playhouse. And 10 years ago is when the series started, and they returned it just this year with part 1 again.
Oh, nice.
So audiences just love the show too.
So part 5, The Last Potluck Supper, it represents kind of an ending to a phase of this. Yeah, the church blows up and everybody dies.
No, stop, Dennis, stop, no. But it is the last potluck supper, and it is the end of the church, but like I told you, it's not the end of the ladies.
The end of the church building.
So
it is. So if it continues, it'll be in a new basement.
Well, exactly, and the church has moved, so I'll give you that little teaser, too.
Okay, all right.
But the ladies are still going strong.
And so, as someone who has done this multiple times in all of the versions, how has the show and the characters and the writing, how has that evolved from number 1 to number 5? Can you see a progression?
Absolutely. And what's interesting, like sitting right next to me, Katie plays my daughter. And last year she was 15. This year she's got babies. So we do evolve, don't we? In the play, right? So yes, there's obviously a progression, and the characters do develop, but the relationships are basically the same. And there's the pastor. We cannot forget pastor's part of this too.
That's very important.
Yeah.
So, Katie, talk to me just a little bit about playing a teenager in the last one and now playing a young mom in this one.
It's definitely a change, I will say. Although, what's really interesting about this show, we do still flash back to learn more things about the church, even the church at its inception. But there is a moment where I'm back to being 13 and, super snarky and everything. But wearing the pregnancy belly is definitely a first for me. So that's something to get used to.
That's worth, worth twice the price right there.
Yeah, definitely.
Carrie, what is your favorite moment of all 5 shows? Because is there one that when you have done it and come back to it, you just, it still makes you It just makes you giggle no matter how many times you do it.
Yeah, well, there are so many. I
Yeah.
couldn't pick one, but I'll say a very special moment is a duet that Katie and I sang last year, Growing Up, Letting Go, a mother-daughter relationship, because we do have a very close relationship that is followed through in the shows. But there are so many bits that our fabulous director, Kurt Wallen, puts in the show, just so many funny things that we were just cracking up yesterday at rehearsal. Sean McCall is something.
Who plays the father? Yeah,
plays
I was
pastor.
the pastor. The pastor,
He gets to play a few
not
other
the father,
people.
not the father,
Yeah.
but the pastor.
That's for Nuncrackers. That's next time. Yes, Pastor gets to play some of the other members of the congregation
Sure.
in this production as well.
Yeah,
Or-
I think it's. I just don't want to. I also don't want to be.
I know, we don't want to spoil.
No, but I also don't want to be misleading. There are 5 parts to the show, but you don't have to see them in order, and you don't have to see them all.
That's a good point. Yeah.
It's a clearly entertaining 2.5 hours of a show, whether you've seen one or all 5
Now,
different versions.
I'm kind of assuming, as we started this, that people have familiarity not only with the plays, but also with the idea of a church basement supper. And part of that is because that's my background. I grew up eating Jell-O salad in the basement of many different churches.
The bars, the hot dishes, the Jell-O molds.
But for those who don't, kind of sketch out kind of what the church basement lady and the church basement supper, what that is.
Well, don't you say they really are the backbone of the church, and they work so hard, but usually the kitchens are in the basement, so that is where they spend their time. So that is our set, and that is where these ladies congregate themselves, and their relationships develop there, the tears, the laughter, everything happens right there.
They're cooking for potluck suppers, they're cooking for weddings, they're cooking for funerals, all the stuff that happens in a church.
Baptisms, funerals, confirmations, everything, yes. And they're the ladies they are the backbone of the church.
And yes, hot dishes and Jell-O molds.
And bars.
And bars.
Lots of coffee, too.
Lots of coffee.
So opens next week, the week of the week of the
On
week
the
of the 3rd, yeah, but
Yep, October 8th, and we close November 8th.
okay, so you've got a good
Nice, clean.
got a good month.
Yep.
Katie, remind us of the schedule, because there's a variety of times.
Sure, yes.
Matinee and evening performances, and
we've
people
got
can come see the show.
Matinees at 2:00 on Wednesday and Thursday and Sunday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday, 2:00, and then Friday and Saturday nights at 7:30.
All right, and if people want tickets, they can go on the web to your site, which is
oldcreamery.com.
Or they can call
319-622-6262.
All right, Katie and Carrie, the church basement ladies, the final, well, kind of, potentially final
now.
installment, the end of this era of the
Yes.
church basement ladies, opening next week at the Old Creamery Theater. Well, they're hilarious shows, and I wish you the good luck with it.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.